This is Joshua Hart here for Seconds Out. Delighted today to be joined by Felix Cash here over Zoom. Felix, first of all, thank you very much for your time today. And how is everything?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. Yeah, things are going all right. Things are good, mate.
Very, very good to hear.
Except for me, got a fight.
We'll get into all of that now. Just quickly looking back at the last one for yourself, about 9 months ago now, you faced Tyler Denny in a comeback fight. While it wasn't your night on the night, what have you took away from that now, looking back at it?
Listen, you got to live the life. I wasn't living a life to be totally honest. I'm honest with myself. There you go. You learn, you live and learn. Make sure that I won't don't be doing the things that I was doing again. And hopefully I get a fight and get an opportunity to make things right. Obviously it was stopped on a cut. Even though I wasn't performing well, I do genuinely believe if I had longer in the fight, I would have eventually got hold of him. But what can you do? It's here or there. It's his night, and that's it.
And we've not really heard a lot from you. We know that you have been back in the gym, but how has life been since that night? How have you dealt with suffering defeat for the first time?
Listen, obviously it was devastating. Well, life I say I wasn't devastated, but to be honest with you, I have no one to blame but really myself. In that camp, I just don't know if I was overlooking Denny or well, like I say, it wasn't long enough. There was a lot longer left in that fight. Like it was only 4 rounds in. Um, but it's just the way cookie crumbles is the situation it was, and that's it. I was just hopefully now I can get a fight. I can't seem to get a fight all day. Even though I've been taking over and I've been asking for fights. I can't seem to get one. I don't know. Obviously, people are probably looking back at my past performances. Obviously stopping Tyler and stuff. Tyler, I mean, stopping thingy for the British. I think it's maybe I'm too dangerous of a fight for people to take.
Obviously, that night we know you had Adam Booth in your corner. Are you still working with Adam at the moment?
Yeah, I'm still working about him. Yeah, been to the gym today. Taking over. You know what I mean. Hopefully, I'll get some news on a fight or go get a diet, get a fight announced.
What names are on your hit list moving forward into this year? Who would you like to be in the ring with?
Listen, any middleweights or super middleweights, you know what I mean? Can do. Don't get me wrong; it's a bit of a struggle still to make middle. So I would be open to be fighting the super middleweight. I don't mind. You know what I mean? Any big names. You know what I mean? You had Liam Smith. There was chats about me maybe even fighting Liam Smith on the Conor Benn undercard, but that didn't come off. So. And then there was maybe fighting on the first of March, just at the beginning of the year, um, against Julian Smith's fight, on the Belfast show, but that never ended up coming off either. So it's just a waiting game really to some fight to come up and an opportunity. I'll fight anyone. I just want to make amends, and that wasn't me in that ring last time out.
So, if I was to say, when would you like next be in the ring? If a fight, let's say a fight came up tomorrow, would you be, or would you still want a nice preparation for it?
Listen, I'll be ready. Give me 8 weeks, 8 weeks, 6, 8 weeks. I'll be ready. You know what I mean? I've been in the gym. I've been living the life since New Year's. You know what I mean? 1st of January. I've been clean, looking after myself, and so I'll be ready to go. 8 weeks, 6, 8 weeks.
It's very good to hear that you are staying ready, staying in the gym. Just looking, so is it a move to super middleweight for you next? You mentioned that you are struggling with middleweight, so ideally, do you want to go up to that super middleweight division now?
Listen, it's not that I can't make the weight, you know what I mean? But obviously it all depends, what opportunity arises. Any opportunity at middle or super middleweight, I'll take. Well, just trying to get someone to take a fight or get off for the fight. I think maybe I'm a bit of a still a bit dangerous for people to take a chance.
How close were you to getting onto that Eubank Ben undercard? You mentioned there was an offer there. How close was it to coming off?
Yeah, and if I wouldn't say it was rubber stamped, you know what I mean? But we were contacted, and and it was discussed. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden he went a bit cold, and obviously he's finding someone else now. But Matchroom did contact us and mentioned the Liam Smith to me. You know what I mean? And we said yes straight away, but we just didn't come off. Obviously, Liam, don't know if Liam wanted someone else or went elsewhere or what the situation was, but next thing you know, he's fighting someone else. So
And the man he's fighting,
you know how it is with boxing.
mm. The man he's fighting is a man you mentioned earlier as well. Obviously, Aaron McKenna. You said you also had talks to fight on the Belfast card at the beginning of March.
Yeah, yeah, on the first, yeah.
How do you see that fight playing out between the two? It's a very crossroads type of fight, isn't it?
Yeah, it's one of them. It's all about what Liam's got left him in a minute. I think Liam could got to be favoured. They'll need to win that fight. But it'll be interesting to see, and I think it's a big step up, obviously, from McKenna and see what he's made of. Well, it'll be an interesting fight, but I think Liam's got to be the favourite.
Absolutely. Just looking at that main event, big fight for a former stablemate of yours in Conor Benn. You helped him prepare in the lead up to the first fight with Eubank Jr. What differences were there? Obviously, I know you would have sparred with him when he was preparing for fights at welterweight, but in that build up to him fighting at near enough middleweight, were there any differences in his game and in his sparring?
Listen, he seemed a bit stronger. He can punch Connor anyway. You know what I mean? He's always had a dig on him. I think you might get that from the old man, but he's improved a lot, Connor, and he can dig. So I think that would be a surprise for Eubank because he's quite very explosive. Connor is, you know what I mean? Especially when he comes out of the blocks, he's dangerous. You know what I mean? So it'd be interesting to fight for me to watch. To be honest, obviously I want Connor to win, obviously. But be interesting to see who comes out on top in that one.
How do you
I'll be
think?
definitely there to watch anyway.
What you will always be there in the stadium, nice close
Yeah,
proximity?
yeah, I'll go there, mate. Yeah,
That's
definitely.
very, very good to hear. How do you think he'll handle that additional weight on the night? Obviously, stepping up two weight divisions, it is quite a big step.
It is a big step. I think, so like doing it in sparring and, and stuff like that, I think it will make a difference there, but you probably will feel it on the night. But, he's had a long time preparing for this fight now. I think the length he's actually had off has probably done him a favour because he's had more time. Obviously he knew when he was coming back, he's probably going to come back into this fight. Because obviously there's so much money and so much interest in the fight. So, I do think it's probably done him a favour, really, more time to go into the weight and get used to, fighting on that weight. So I think it's probably done him a favour. And like I say again, Chris he's got that little bit older too.
You mentioned the length of time between the first fight and now. Do you feel, as well as it doing Conor a benefit physically, we've seen Eubank Jr. fight three times since then, and in one of those fights, he did get stopped by Liam Smith. Do you feel that will also play into Conor Benn's favour that he's catching Chris Eubank Jr. at a later date now, where he's a bit older and a bit more aged?
Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. That's what I just mentioned there again. Like he's that little bit older, and it's all about what he's got left in the tank and stuff like that too. You do get start getting around that age, you do knock off a little bit, and start getting it around the 35s and stuff, and he's had time to go into the weight. And I think Connor didn't Connor fight. He has fought though, Connor abroad,
He's
doesn't he?
fought, yeah, he's fought twice out in the States.
Yeah. So they fought around about the same amount of times. Even since he's has had the band. So I think it's more in Connor's favour that the first fight never happened. I think, even though I was sick as a pig because obviously I was on the undercard when I saw.
Well, you mentioned the undercard. In that first press conference, Chris Eubank Jr. said he will be paying every fighter on the undercard a portion of £50,000. Have you had anything? Have you had an invoice yet from Chris?
No, he ain't got an invoice, so might get him the invoice and we'll see what happens. Let them have the fire. I can't see him doing anything, but see what happens with me.
What have you made of the mind games, I guess you could say, Eubank Jr.'s tried to play in this build-up so far?
Listen, he's trying to get on the skin, and you know what I mean. He's been in the game long enough. He's good at his job. Um, he knows what he's doing. But if it works, it's another thing. We'll have to see with me.
One of the biggest moments, I guess you could say, of this build-up so far, and I think what will remain as the biggest moment is the slap from Eubank Jr. with an egg in his hand. When you first saw that, what are your feelings towards a move like that from Eubank Jr.?
Listen, it's entertainment, isn't it? It's all about the entertainment. It's probably done, even though Conor was probably pissed off at the time, it's probably done him a favour because it's got more people watching it and probably do more views and probably earn a more bit more a few more quid for the slap, to be honest. So I think after he's all calmed down, I think he's it's a good thing that happened for the fight
What would you have done if
and the
you were,
fans.
what would you have done if you were in Conor Benn's position and someone hit you with an egg?
Listen, I'll be going at him. I don't do what Conor done trying to get at him. You know what I mean? I think anyone do. We're fighting men, and it's a fight game. So I think if someone does that to you, the first thing you're gonna do is try to go back at him. So I can't say I wouldn't have done anything different.
Obviously, you mentioned a lot more interest in the fight and a lot more money. It has actually took a bit of money out of Chris Eubank Jr.'s pocket, £100,000 fine from the board. Do you think that's a fair punishment from them?
Yeah, yeah, I think it is fair. How much more can you take off someone? You know what I mean? But I'm sure you'll be getting that 100 grand, and a bit more back from doing it. So, but no, it's I don't know how much you can find people these days. Only a certain amount you can do. It was only a slap on it with a bit of an egg. It wasn't, he never bottled anyone or anything.
I mean, he did say it was worth every penny, didn't he? So if it
Yeah,
doesn't really matter if it's worth every penny for him.
yeah, they'll get plenty of money anyway, and then he got plenty of money, so I don't think he's that bothered about it.
Absolutely. We also saw that they had a talk show, an hour-long clip or video with Piers Morgan, where a lot of people have said online at the end of it, Piers was trying to force a handshake between the two of them. Do you believe it's the right move? Obviously, Connor agreed to shake Chris's hand. Do you think that's a shock, first of all, that Connor agreed to shake his hand?
No, I don't think they hate it. People keep saying they hate each other. I don't think they really hate deep down. I think they've got respect there for each other. You know what I mean? And I just think there's a bit of needling. You know what I mean? They're gonna fight each other. When even everyone I fight, you know what I mean? I try to. You don't be too nice to him, you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, you got to fight him. So, but after the fight, it's done, you shake hands and forget about it and job done. I think they obviously got to respect each other, and they, but they're just fighting each other, and obviously the bit of heating from the two bad dads behind them, I think, just puts a bit more fuel into the fire, and I think that's what the fans want to see anyway, a bit of a rivalry, don't they?
And we know obviously Chris refused to shake the hand of Conor Benn. When I spoke to Gareth Davis a few days ago, he said if they both agreed to the handshake, that Conor Benn would have probably tried to get his revenge for the egg slap. So do you think it was probably the right move from Chris to avoid the handshake?
It's probably best at this time. It's a bit too rare, and you know what I mean. It's only just happened that, so it's only a couple of days afterwards on it. So the best just staying out of each other's way, mate. To be honest with you, until they get hands each other in the fight. Now I guarantee you, after the fight's over, they'll probably shake hands and say fair play to whoever wins.
And just lastly from myself, can I ask you for a prediction on how the fight goes on April 26th between the two?
Listen, obviously I'm going to back Conor. Obviously, stay with me, a friend of mine. But listen, it's one of them fights. I reckon Connor's going to be very, very dangerous early on. He's explosive. He's fast, and obviously he can take. But I can see a way of both of them winning. But I'm going to back Connor.
Well, Felix, appreciate your time. Always good to talk. And hopefully we can see some big fight news for yourself very soon. Cheers.
Right, nice one. Yeah, cheers for your time.